Hi, everyone, and welcome to Baka Bitches. We are two 30-something-year-olds who enjoy drinking and discussing anime. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Hannah, and we'll be watching Ouran High School Host Club. And just fair warning, we will be watching this as a dub and not a sub. Don't come at us. Other disclaimer is that there will be spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, pause and watch the episode yourself and then come back and listen along. We will also be going over explicit content and we'll probably say some pretty explicit things. So listener, beware, and it's to your own discretion.
We hope you enjoy. Pour yourself a drink and join us. I don't know where my notes are. Hold up.
Oh no.
Oh, they're there.
Go on, fam.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Baka Bitches, or BB for shorts.
We don't even say that anymore.
We do when I'm introing.
Okay.
We are two 30-something-year-olds who enjoy drinking and discussing anime. I'm Hannah. Just kidding. I'm Stephanie.
I was gonna say I'm Stephanie.
I should have just kept going. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Stephanie.
And Stephanie, what will we be drinking tonight?
Well,
you should know because you're the bartender.
Yeah, I mixed this great drink for us.
Is it lovely?
It's so lovely.
What is it?
It is a hodgepodge of sake.
Hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge of sake. Some regular vodka. Some peach-flavored vodka. Cranberry juice. And some lemon juice. And then topped off with a little bubbly water. A little seltzer.
Oh, Stephanie, I just want to say, that
Yes.
sounds like a lot of alcohol. You might have a problem.
Well, I'm only drinking on the daily. Just
Awesome.
kidding.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, sounds like the most amazing drink.
Yeah, it's so good. So lovely. Are you looking for...
I'm looking for our synopsis.
Okay.
Our synopsis. We are on episode 14 for today, covering the famous host club.
What are we covering it with?
Wait, and I'll show you later.
Oh, baby.
All right, so according to Wikipedia, it indicates the failing newspaper club has become a gossip rap and needs a legitimate article to prevent disillusion. Editor-in-Chief Akira Komatsuzawa. I said that way better before we
Sure.
started recording.
Well, we also had less drink in us.
Komatsuzawa
Sure.
is especially interested in finding something with which to blackmail, in caps, blackmail Tamaki, because he believes Tamaki is using his family's power to control the popular students, and he wants to exploit that information for his own benefit. Hard as they try, they observe the host club playing outdoor children's games. Squid Game in the making.
Honestly.
They are unable to scoop evidence about Tamaki's non-existent dark side. Akira decides to fabricate gossip, but is thwarted by the host club.
Yeah, yes.
When Haruhi inquires about Tamaki's parents, she learns that Tamaki's father is the chairman of Ouran Academy.
Daddy chairman.
The benefactor of her scholarship.
Daddy benefactor.
Sexy.
Oh.
I love a good
Show
daddy
me your
moment.
Wallet. Yes.
I'm laughing, but also yes.
Like, same.
Here for it.
I'm actively looking for a sugar daddy.
I'm just looking for any daddy in general.
Okay, yeah, actually fair.
Like just
Actually fair.
like not even a sugar daddy, just like a
Just
sprinkle
daddy.
of daddy.
Just essence of daddy. The LaCroix of daddy.
Like he looked like a daddy and maybe he not, but like he looked like a daddy.
And that's close enough, and we'll accept that. Yeah, you know what? Fair. I get
Yes. Baka bitches now accepting applications.
it. Even for LaCroix daddies.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
yeah, let's go
Tell
on.
me how you feel about this episode. So I did write it. I was gonna say a multitude of questions. It's only a couple questions
It's like 3.
throughout the note taking
Yeah.
that I was able to capture while we
We're watching it.
watched this anime while
Yeah.
multitasking.
Oh, you were multitasking. I was just sitting there like no thoughts watching it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Admit that you're better than me than every single way. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna like miss shit that you're gonna pick up on and be like, thank you for taking notes.
Our anime opens.
Yeah.
3 random newspaper club dudes
Very
talking.
bland. Yeah.
Dot dot dot.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look very youthful. These are my notes.
They
Okay.
don't.
Now Hannah,
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, that more or less sums up the entry to this, really. Is
Three
randos.
newspaper club dudes talking.
Yeah.
They don't look youthful.
Yeah.
Period. Next statement.
Okay, there's probably a little bit more detail to it.
Give it to me.
Oh, I'll give it to you.
Do it.
Hard.
Ah. Daddy, not daddy. Mommy.
You're right. Oh, okay. Anyways, so let me recover. I need to recover. Okay, so we are literally in this room for the newspaper club. It's just the 3 older looking, not students, scheming and whatnot, and they are surrounded by piles and piles of newspapers that they clearly didn't sell to the students, or I don't know, maybe in a really rich academy you sell the newspapers to students.
Versus what? Giving them out for free?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
You know, because I mean, like, sometimes for schools they have a newsletter at least that goes out to the student body or whatever. But I don't know if you pay for that, but maybe in Japan and in really rich academies you do. But I guess it would be even more insulting if they had so many piles and piles of newspapers that they couldn't even give away for free, you know? But
that would be something.
That's much more insulting. But I also kind of
Never
get why.
experienced that in my entire life.
No, my
Don't
school,
call me out like that.
my school was too poor to even have like that kind of a thing, that kind of a setup. So, you know, I didn't get newsletters anyways. I don't know what that's like. So
Everything was like playing one big game of telephone.
oh gosh, I bet the gossip was extra juicy though. I can just
My
so
juicy.
ripe with juicy drippies. I don't know what I'm
What
talking
else?
about anymore.
What else?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Then let's move on.
Yeah, I'm just embarrassing myself at this point. So there, basically, we come to find out that if the newspaper club, which is these 3 grown men pretending to be high school students, just kidding, that's not really what happens. They are actually high school students, but we're making fun of the way how they're drawn, more or less. So I'm just going to explain everything and make it not funny. So they're being threatened that they're gonna shut down the newspaper if they don't sell anything for the last newspaper of the semester or something. And I know, I
thought you knew this anime backwards and forwards.
Not backwards and forwards.
You're over here like, I guess.
Like, honestly, I don't remember this episode. I feel like this is the first time I've watched it.
I only have one note in between what we last talked about and what you're starting to talk about. Which was cutscene to Rando. And Tamaki's comes. And twins playing games in a beautiful garden.
Yeah.
That's literally all that I can see that I've written.
Oh, okay. Well, Tamaki does indeed come. He comes all the time.
And then newspaper main dude is looking gross AF.
And greasy as fuck.
Like a 38-year-old nasty ass hat from 4chan.
Wait.
Who thinks he's super desirable.
Did you really write that?
Yes.
But before that, you're like, Tamaki comes. Girl, where?
Oh, I don't know what that word is.
Comes?
What could this word be?
That really does look like C-U-M-S.
It looks like I wrote comes. Yeah. Cutscene to Rando and Tamaki comes and twins playing games. So I'm just leaving it at that.
Yeah.
Because all I know is what my notes have told me, which is Tamaki comes and twins are playing games. Which
honestly, that is like the same bullshit that they're up to. It sounds right. Yeah, like Tamaki comes all the time.
And then that leads to what you're talking about. Yeah. Newspaper main dude is looking gross AF like a 38-year-old nasty asshat from 4chan. Who thinks he's super desirable.
They always do.
So our stories converge.
Yeah, because the newspaper people are, it's their Hail Mary shot. Sure. And they said, you know what? We are going to do a piece on the host club. And I think originally they wanted it because they compared their newspaper to the likes of the magazines that the host club puts out. Like kind of centerfold-ish from...
That's right. We did see that photo.
We did.
That looked very compromising.
Maybe that's where you got Tamaki comes, because he was just straight up shirtless.
I was writing this chronologically, so I don't think so. Oh. I don't know what that was from.
Okay. That's fine. It doesn't matter. I'm just really intrigued where that line exists. But,
Same.
But, they had the magazine where Tamaki is basically shirtless behind, like, a rose bush or something like that.
With his behind a rose bush.
Coming all the time.
Naked as he came.
And so that is one of the first magazines. And, of course, they're talking about, that sold out. And then even this magazine that Renge made was sold out immediately, and they're on their second printing. And so or at least the main leader of this newspaper group is just beside himself in a way about how the host club is so popular and makes such popular content, and he can't get anything, even though his newspaper sucks because it's more or less just a rag. It's fake gossip. There's nothing that's behind it. It's kind of like one of those magazines that you see, or newspapers that you see at the checkout if you ever do any checkouts at stores anymore, or grocery stores. And it's, the front is something really absurd and obscene, like, man has child with humanoid dog and they have a litter of puppies kind of bullshit, you know?
Except for the problem here is that Tamaki bought into that shit.
He's such a gullible dummy.
Which is the difference in this anime, where he buys into this fucking tabloid shit and then feels bad.
He does.
And then pouts about it for like 6 of our 22 minutes in the episode.
Yeah, honestly.
Until everybody feels bad enough for Tamaki that they then simultaneously help the newspaper club.
Yeah. And it's... I mean, I get that Tamaki, even though he can be really self-absorbed and just about himself, there's also this really selfless side of him. And he wants to just see the good in everyone, which I can appreciate because we don't have a lot of that these days. But, you know, you gotta protect yourself. Because the rest of the host club saw that. Like, oh, this lead guy's honestly no good. So we're gonna decline on whatever he really wants to do with the article about us. We just don't want it. We don't want to be a part of it. And they could sense that he's not necessarily a stand-up guy doing this newspaper thing. But Tamaki was so incensed to help because, and I quote, he said, "They're like a family and they're breaking up." When in reality, spoiler alert, like 5 minutes or so later, we understand that really this newspaper leader guy has more or less blackmailed the other 2 people that are in this newspaper club, because his family owns, I don't know, more newspapers, blah, blah, blah. And,
fucking newspaper people?
Newspaper everywhere. I don't know.
Newspaper assets.
They're tabloid shit, like really important,
public
media
things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Popular media company, I don't know. And the 2 grunts that he had, their families are able to publish with them. And so this boy is like, well, if you leave this club, you know, I'm going to make sure that your families can't do whatever it is with our company. Mm-hmm. You know, we're going to sever ties. And so that's why they're there, to help their family, more or less. So that's kind of weak bullshit. Like, you're not even friends. So that's more or less what this guy is about. And he's been threatened by his own family that if you don't make a successful publishing by the end of the semester, instead of you being the eldest child, we're actually gonna train our second child to take over the company. You know, which, okay, I mean, yes and no, I don't know. Little weird, but, you know, I also don't get it because rich people do weird shit. So...
Fair. We don't know about
Am I
wrong?
wrong?
We don't know.
No, we don't know. We don't know anything about that life.
We're just stupid ass bitches.
Because we're stupid.
We're stupid.
So anyways, that's why he wants to interview the host club and to get some good gossip, to be popular for once, sell out, newspapers that he's made, which, okay, but he goes about it the wrong way. And instead of saying, okay, I'm gonna get all the charming shit, because that's what the host club is, full of charming shit, and all of this, he's like, no, I must find all of the dirt on Tamaki. He's got to have a dark side, like, and he's more or less projected all of this negative emotions toward Tamaki, and saying, like, it's the reason why he's the reason why the newspaper isn't doing as good as it was. He should have been my lackey. He should have been under me, which, where does he get that? Where?
I don't know.
Where? So he's just in his own head thinking that had the host club not happened, Tamaki would be under his thumb in newspaper making, I guess, which I can't see Tamaki doing anything with a newspaper. He can barely read. So yeah, but Tamaki falls for it, and he's just like, I want to help these guys out. They've told me their plight, and I want to help them out. And everyone else in the host club is like, nah, bro, this ain't good. We're out. We don't want to do it. And Tamaki, being the he, is very much like, well, I'm the leader, so we must do it this way. And they're like, no, they still don't respect him enough to be like...
They don't respect his authority.
They don't. You know what? Because Kyoya has all of the authority. He's the one. It's true.
Okay, so speaking of Tamaki's dark side, one of the questions that I did write down as we were watching this is, what would get your lady bits fantasizing about Tamaki if he had a dark side? What would his dark side be for you? What would really get Hannah's motor going?
Okay. Oh boy.
I know, I'm asking the tough questions.
The really
here.
vulnerable question.
Take your time while I eat this Cheeto.
Okay. Very perfect. Let me just stir my drink while I think about it. I would say I am very much into men. And I mean that in the sense of they're not super prideful, but they have that confidence to them. They know what they want, and they're going to straight out tell you. So, we have Tamaki, who's this bright, bubbly, like, he's really whiny, right? But if he had that dark side to him, quote unquote dark side, where he just flipped the switch and just changes to this confident, like, no, you're actually going to be doing what I'm saying. And not in the, demanding, yelling kind of sense, but it's just that quiet confidence that
makes you say daddy.
Yes! Daddy, okay. Okay, I'll do it. Because you asked so nicely. By nicely, you, like, pulled my hair. Kind of a thing where, just... how do I describe it? And it's just it's so not necessarily his character type.
Well, sure, it's not his character type.
Yeah.
Which is why my question is, if he had this dark side,
yeah,
what will get it going for you? What would his dark side have to entail? For you to be like, all right, Tamaki, okay. I see you.
You're dangerous. Okay. Yeah, because their dark side in the episode more consists of, some sort of...
stupid ass shit.
Yeah.
It's just literal stupid ass shit.
Yeah. Or, like something illegal, right, is kind of their thing, where this newspaper club is more or less trying to pin Tamaki as this manipulative, blackmailing person, right?
But we know from his character and from what we've seen of him that's not him.
Never.
But if he could be an actual thing,
what
would it be for you? You want me to tell you mine?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can think about yours?
Yeah, tell me.
I wrote, as I thought about this on the spot, that for Tamaki's dark side, what would get my lady bits really going as a fantasy would be if his dark side was like something illegal, but like not really that bad, but it was something like he's stealing his neighbor's Wi-Fi. Like, he doesn't even have their password, and he's over here like,
is that daddy?
But like, he doesn't need to do that shit. Like, he's fucking loaded.
Yeah.
But he's doing it anyways for the defiance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where then I would be like, oh.
Okay.
You're not even doing this for the money.
Wi-Fi,
Like,
man.
you're not even doing it for the $11.99 broadband. You're just here doing it because you're fucking badass.
It's that
daddy.
devil may care attitude.
Right.
You know
So
what?
that's mine. And I
Okay.
hope and I expect and I acknowledge that yours is not going to be
Stealing Wi-Fi.
as low of standards as mine has been.
Yeah, I don't know where my standards are anymore.
But that's what mine was.
Okay.
So, which is what spurred my question for you, which was just like, okay, if Tamaki did have a dark side
Okay.
that had to get your motor running, like, what would be the
Oh,
bare minimum that he
okay.
would have to do to secure that spot
Jeez,
in your
okay.
heart and vagina?
Okay, I think I got this.
Can we say vagina on a podcast?
Sure, we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Vagina.
Vajayjay.
Vajizzle.
Hoo-ha. Womanhood.
Diddlyhood. I've never heard that before.
I don't know. Me neither. That's what it got me off guard. The puss. The cunt.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I went there.
That was raunchy and accurate.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so what's going to get your cunt going? Yeah, cunt.
Isn't it? We're just going to turn British because they just fucking say all that kind of shit. No problem. On the daily, like you have 5-year-olds in Britain just, what up? Yeah, we cunt. And you're just like,
Hannah and Stephanie said it. It's fine.
No, they just say that as daily vernacular in British.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay, that's besides the point. Okay.
certainly
So
hope
what
so.
I think would be really fucking attractive as a dark
Yes.
side for Tamaki is that he actually, like, he has this bright, bubbly facade, right?
Of course.
But behind the scenes, he is, like, this really intelligent, like, fake art dealer.
Okay.
He knows his shit about art. He can, like, replicate any piece of art and sell it for, like, millions and millions and millions of dollars. Like, that's hot. Because, like, it's...
I almost spit out my mouthful of Cheetos. I expected at least 800 different answers from you.
Not that one.
Like, not even close.
Nice!
I thought you'd be like, if he had, like, 7 tattoos.
Oh, yeah, that
Or if
tattoos
he was,
work.
like, actually a man whore. Or, controversially, the opposite,
What?
if he was, like, a virgin.
Oh, no.
And was just, like, frontin' and, like,
Just
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, virgin is
I was
not my
expecting
territory.
all these
No.
dark
like,
side bits
Oh.
that were not. He's just this art dealer.
But
He
in
just-
a legal, like, he is a...
so creative type.
But it's not like just...
not it.
But no, he's not an art dealer. He is literally manufacturing fake copies of really famous pieces.
This is really specific.
I have specific standards, Stephanie. And he's selling them. Like, he's smart enough and intelligent enough to be able to perfectly copy, like, masterpieces, right? And is able to, like, sell them off to other people who just get fooled. Like, his whole thing is just fooling people and making so much money off of it. Like, that would be ridiculously attractive. It's fine.
Is this a movie you've seen somewhere?
No. Not... I mean, there have been similar things to that.
This is so specific. I have so many
Stephanie,
questions.
my fantasies are very specific. What questions
I
do
mean,
you
I guess
have?
mine was too, where I was like, and I specifically envision him stealing his neighbor's Wi-Fi in a Tokyo
Which, I don't know.
apartment.
Doesn't even live in an apartment.
I don't know. This is his dark side, Hannah. He lives in
I
a
know,
dank-ass
but
cardboard
how?
box.
No, he
and he's
doesn't.
sharing his neighbor's cardboard box Wi-Fi. I don't
We've
know.
already seen his house. He does not.
This is my fantasy.
This is okay. My fantasy
I'm
is
just
weird.
asking-
Yours is
Just asking clarifying questions.
Sure.
About your art dealership.
Dealer.
I don't understand. When you could just be stealing 100%
Wi-Fi,
broadband, FiOS, whatever they use the words.
Why? Okay, I have questions of my own. Because Stephanie, why is that the dark side that would be attractive? This man steals Wi-Fi, and you're like, my vagina is ready. Come here, daddy.
Yes, because I feel like for me, it's like, it's kind of more petty defiance. Like, why do I have to pay for this? If I could just be getting this shit for free.
Sure.
So I'm like mostly
Okay.
here for that. It's not necessarily about like trying to get back at the neighbor. It's more just trying to get back at the system. Like, stick it to the man. Like, I'm rich enough to pay for this shit, but like I shouldn't have to, cause like
$50 a month? What is
and
this
my
bullshit?
neighbor is literally 20 meters away from my house. It's the same. Why are we paying 2 separate fees for it?
So
I'm just not going to. Fuck the police. And I mean, I feel like for me, that's like my type of bad guy who's like, is the Draco Malfoy. Like, I'm going to pretend to be a badass.
But
You
I'm
just
really
wait
not.
till my father hears about this. But like, you're not.
Gotcha.
But like, you're not really bad.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how to be bad.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And so I feel like that's it with Tamaki right now. In my envisioning is him like being quote unquote bad in high school, but like not really being bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I come from.
Okay.
That's my
Yeah.
truth.
Fair.
It's my truth.
Yeah.
I really hate that when people say that, but that's my truth. About Tamaki.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Stop laughing at me.
No, you know what I'm laughing at is the complete contrast of your version of what would get your lady bits tingly.
Our lady bits tingle for very different
very
reasons.
different, where, yours is just, straight up fucking stealing Wi-Fi, which no one's going to jail for, and mine is literally a
It's
white-collar
stealing.
crime. It's fine.
I don't
I'm
have
not
anything
wrong.
to say about that.
Dude, I feel like you have a lot to say about that.
All I'm saying is that, like, you're eternally fucked and I'm not.
That's how I like to be. That is how I live my life, Stephanie.
Is fucked every single
Like, all
day.
the time. And not even in the good way. So,
But just, like, fucked.
yeah. And so, you know what? Like, that's why I chose the extreme and specifics that I did.
Because no matter how it
he's-
feels, you like a good fucking every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be exhausted at the end of the day, And I feel
No. I need more experience. You're so not expecting that. No, you're like
not.
waiting for me to
I
be
was
like,
like, what?
yeah.
I know, I was like, hold on, you don't agree with me? What is this to
Maybe
me?
I agree. Let's find out.
Yeah, well, go on. Yeah, so...
You're waiting for that good physical exhaustion
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
Absolutely, and I feel like someone who has the no fucks given attitude of, I'm gonna replicate a masterpiece of art and actually sell it like the real thing, like, he gives no fucks. He is, doesn't care if he's on the FBI's Most Wanted or whatever it is. Is it the FBI that investigates
I
white
feel
collar
like
crimes?
that crime is still so small compared to so many other crimes. Do you know what I mean?
Do you have no idea?
No, I realize in terms of monetary value, but I'm just saying in terms of crime of like, I'm like literally at Alcatraz breaking out with my plastic spork.
Are we saying we
It's
should
just
go like
very
Yakuza
No,
levels? Or...
all I'm trying to say is that you tried to pull it off like my crime was not as good as your crime.
It's not.
But both of our crimes are not very good, is all
you
I'm
kidding
trying
me?
to say.
Mine
At
is
the-
so good.
at the end.
Yours
Mine is good. Mine is good. Okay. For how many of you out there consider stealing Wi-Fi versus consider the crime of paintings and literal artwork and trying to replicate them and then resell
the Mona fucking Lisa and selling it off as a real thing for millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars.
But do you know how much more effective it is to just steal your neighbor's Wi-Fi?
For what purpose?
Because
for all
free
Wi-Fi, 50 gigs?
Free Wi-Fi. How many?
To watch porn with?
Sure.
But there's a guy that is replicating
to use
famous
it to laugh at people who are trying to steal, who are trying to sell art that's not their own art of Mona Lisa.
It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
It's beautiful. I love this petty white collar crime. It's beautiful. AKA Hannah.
Guys, help me, you guys. No. She thinks Wi-Fi stealing is far superior than white collar crime.
I'm just saying that I feel like they're on the same level compared to when you could be like, I would really just love to be married to like a sociopath murderer, like the next cult leader of
the Charles Manson of like.
Yeah, like I just really love her to be
leader.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
I would never go cult leader. Like that's sussy Baka bullshit, right?
I feel like the crimes are like they're not on the same level, but on the pettiest level of like, are they really that bad in the grand scheme of like?
Oh yeah. Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like we're not mass murdering all the Jews in America.
Not in love with Hitler.
Versus like, I'm just trying to make a lot of money on this artwork that's not mine. Also, I'm trying to illegally view all this artwork from
all these dank NFTs.
100 gigabytes of pure download speed to my RAM.
I love
immediately.
You know what? I love your optimism that you think your neighbor's really gonna have that good of a life.
I know they are. They're so fucking rich.
Know?
Because they make more money than we do collectively, and they live in a smaller house.
That's bullshit. Okay, I'm not gonna go there.
It's a smaller house. You can look at it. It's smaller.
I don't want to look at their house. They'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing, creeper?" But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but like, I think we've talked about this way too long. We need to move on.
Well, fine, move on. Admit that we're the same. Crimes. Crime level. Crime wavelength.
Okay.
Tell the people what they want to hear.
Stephanie is wrong and I am right. Okay, that is what they want to hear.
It's not true. We're going to host a poll later.
Yeah, whenever that happens.
I'm going to do it immediately.
Yeah.
Nobody's heard this episode.
Where are you going to put the poll?
Not even one singular person.
Not yet. Anyways. But I love that we had this conversation. I feel like I know you so much better now. Yeah. So,
it explains a lot about the things that I find emotional.
Yeah.
Stealing internet, sneezing, maybe not sneezing to my left. We don't really know.
We don't know.
I don't know. Who knows these things?
It's unpredictable. So yeah,
that was really it for the episode. So
for the most
basically, Tamaki convinces the host club we need to help these guys because they're AKA a family, and it makes me sad because we're like a family.
Yeah, we don't want to break the family apart.
And while nobody quote bends the knee to Tamaki like he's the leader. Mm-hmm. They're all there for the support, and they are like...
They give in. They give in to it again. But they do...
And it's the right thing to do. We want this club to succeed. We want other people to succeed, you know.
And we do it because we...
Sure.
You know, care for Tamaki. We love Tamaki, so we'll do it for him.
Right.
You know, and that's what it comes down to.
Yes.
It's not because he's the quote-unquote leader of the host club. Mm-hmm. It's because they're like, okay, we all know he's a big dummy dumb. and he wants to do this. He's going to do this no matter what. And so we might as well be there to help him do that, but also to protect him.
Although I feel like any of them would have helped any of them in this scenario,
Oh, yeah.
even if they didn't understand. They would have been like, it's important to whoever, Kyoya, so
Yeah.
we're going to do it.
Well, yeah.
Because it's important to you. Or
And
this
he's
is
mommy.
important to Honey.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it for you. Because it's important to you and we care about you.
Yeah.
You know? And so I kind of feel like that was like it with Tamaki.
Yeah.
I
Accurate.
mean, he's the leader, but he's the self-proclaimed leader.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really know.
He's the face is pretty much all that anyone can agree on is he's the face,
Yeah.
but not necessarily in charge.
Right. That's cute.
So he's pouting, and I feel like they're all helping him just because he's part of the fam.
Yeah.
And we're helping because we don't want to see you genuinely distressed. Like,
Yeah.
this is a thing that matters to you, and we want to help because we can.
Yeah.
So I do feel like that is very sweet, and that just,
It's
speaks to the
adorable.
overall good nature of the entire host club. Mm-hmm. They're here for all these sexist reasons. Mm-hmm. But they're also just genuinely good people at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely.
It's one of those things where, like, they're sexist because of the times.
Yeah. We can't hold that against them forever.
But it doesn't negate the fact that they're still, at the end of the day, they're good people, and they're trying to do...
The best. What's best?
Yes, which is a very Japanese saying.
Yeah.
Of just, okay, let's do our best.
Yes. And I can appreciate
Yeah.
that, because it doesn't tell you have to be perfect,
No,
but it
just
tells
says,
you
do
have to
you-
try.
Yes, try.
Try, and that's all
Do
we
your
can ask
literal
for.
best.
That's all we can ask for.
Yes. And I feel like this is kind of exemplifying that.
Yeah, for sure. And, Tamaki being the good-natured boy that he is, he just wants to help some people out. And so that's what they all do with some stipulations.
Right.
And I appreciate that the whole host club comes together and says, okay, we don't want to do this. We told you no originally, but we'll do this because Tamaki wants to do this. That wants to help you out. But here are boundaries. First boundary.
So healthy of
So
them.
healthy for a host club. So they're like, first boundary, no interviews. We're not going to do that. You're just going to write, your piece. We're not going to give you any ammunition to use against us. So, there's that. And there was like one or two other stipulations that I can't remember. Doesn't matter, really. So this news club follows them around, and really it's just the host club playing children's games, which was
Squid Game.
Squid Game, red light, green light, more or less. Hopscotch. Kick the can, literally.
Cat's cradle.
Yeah, just, whatever bullshit.
Hide and go peep. What? Only I played that?
Yeah. But it happened. Sometimes peeping. It's fine.
Yeah. Still do. What?
Same. What? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, it's just them doing like these ridiculous kids games, and the news club is just, what is going on here? What are you guys doing? And Tamaki's just bright-eyed and innocent and is just, these are commoners games, and they do this because it's free and it's entertaining, just so pure about it, but it just comes off as so out of touch as well.
It is. It's some of both.
Yeah.
Because he's doing it from a place of goodness, but it's still cringy.
That is his whole life, is just being cringe boy number one.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, and during all of this and the news club following them around, at some point Tamaki is able to grab Haruhi by the hand, and I think it's because they started to play hide and seek or something like that, and starts pulling Haruhi away into this maze with tall rose bushes, like ridiculously
super
tall.
Alice in Wonderlandy.
Very Alice in Wonderlandy. And they end up, quote unquote, lost because Tamaki, like me, has no sense of direction.
Heard.
But they supposedly, my guess, end up in the middle of the maze because there's just a gazebo there, and usually in the center of a maze, that's what you stumble upon, either some sort of statue and fountain, something pretty grandiose, or like they did, a gazebo. And so they just kind of shelter in place right there in the gazebo, hoping that Kyoya will find them because he's the most dependable person you can have to find you, I guess.
That's fair.
Yeah. And I think the rest of the host club know that they're kind of hiding in the maze, so they know Haruhi and Tamaki are good and distracted and won't get out of it until they come get them, and they use this opportunity to talk to the newspaper club.
Yeah.
Because they ended up bugging the newspaper room, and more or less finding out the ill intentions of said newspaper club. And so they threatened them with, stuff. I can't remember what, but more or less they say butt stuff. They threaten them with butt stuff.
I would give in immediately.
Immediately.
FYI.
Just okay if you insist.
We'll do it.
Oh boy, that's a different episode.
Fine if you insist.
Did we watch the same show?
About butt stuff? Probably.
Stuff? Yeah, right.
There's only one episode ever about butt stuff.
Just the one. It was a one-off. But yeah, they more or less told the newspaper club, Tamaki doesn't have any dark sides. Actually, we joined the host club because he's nothing but this really authentic, nice person.
Ew, gross.
I know, crazy. Not an art theft person. Okay, cool. Whatever, I guess. Doesn't even steal Wi-Fi.
What a square.
I know, such
Not
a
even
loser.
a square, just like
With
fucking
money.
rectangle. Obtuse rectangle.
So they more or less say, we're standing by Tamaki and we're doing this because we actually do love him as a person, and without him we wouldn't be the host club.
Right.
And so they yet again kind of push the newspaper club into a corner and said, you're not going to be doing any hit pieces on anyone in this club, and you're going to do the right thing and write an authentic piece, which you should have been doing from, the get-go. Then you would have sold stuff. So they did. They got on the straight and narrow, wrote an authentic piece, and that's also when they, and by they I mean the host club, finally comes and gets the two lost souls in the maze. Because they were just sitting there helpless with absolutely no thoughts behind those eyes. And that's more or less when Kyoya has a brief talk with Haruhi and is like, Haruhi, you should actually be kind of thankful towards Tamaki's family, because without Tamaki's family, you wouldn't be able to go to school. Like, his family, that's where your scholarship came from.
Right.
And that's when she realizes that Tamaki is the son of the chairman to Ouran Academy.
I feel like that does shed a lot of light on things that we didn't quite have answers to before.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to make for a really interesting second half of our season.
Yes.
I hope.
Oh, I'm sure.
I know
I'm sure
I've watched the entire season,
Mm-hmm.
but it was years ago, and I was not this level of invested. So I'm really excited to see where this is going to go with that.
Oh, it's going to go.
I hope it's going to be a thing, and it's not just one of those weird one-offs that we never see or hear about again.
I guess only time will tell.
Right, like with what's-her-face? Renge?
Yeah.
Yes, and how she just keeps showing up.
I love her.
Like,
Really
my
do.
favorite character. I love it.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, there's still a lot, I think, to explore with this group. It always seems like something's happening, but nothing's happening at the same time. But yeah, so this episode kind of ends with Haruhi realizing that Tamaki is not just a rich boy, but he is the rich boy, the son of the chairman. And I think in the last couple minutes of this episode, it kind of dawns on her of, oh, okay, so now that I know that, I'm not only staying to repay my debt for the vase that I broke 13 episodes ago, but now she feels like she has to stay because she's indebted to his family because she got a whole ass scholarship to attend the academy.
That is true. And we haven't really ever talked about that before.
We haven't.
But also she's in high school. How many real other opportunities did she have? Especially after she cut her hair.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
I say this in all sexism, meaning,
in
she
2006.
cut her hair? Really?
Yeah.
What other school was going to give her the time of day? Because she got her hair.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm surprised there hasn't been at least part of an episode where a teacher hasn't complained that she's wearing the boys' uniform instead of the girls. But, also there's really not any teachers at this school. They just do whatever they want, I guess.
That's fucking wild, but okay.
But yeah, so that's it. It was yet again a great episode where some things happen, but
other things didn't.
Yeah, not enough stuff happened, and we spent most of it debating on what Tamaki's dark side should have been, which is fine.
What would get the bits going?
Yeah. So that's it, and until the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Baka, bye.